Hey everyone, it's Stamp Ventures with Shauna. Welcome to my Tuesday tutorial at 9:02. Usually I'm on at around 8:02 or something like that, but my husband got me going on something on TV. So I might switch to 9:02 from now on. I think it'll work better for the both of us. I seem to be having a little bit of an issue with my voice tonight here. Hopefully I'll make it through and I won't cough too much. I'm dealing with a virus and I'll be glad to have that over with. And in just a few minutes I'm going to be using these pieces to make a card with the little Ladybug stamp set. And before I get going on that, I have a funny to share with you, and I also have, well, first of all, I have a weather word of the day, and I bet you guys have some really good words too. I'd love to know what your weather words are, because it's minus bazillion 100 with the wind chill here. It's stupid cold. That's the word, stupid. I was going to say ridiculous, but pretty much the weather word today is stupid. But I'd love to hear what your weather words are too. And just to reinforce how stupid it is, today's funny, and I don't know if you're going to be able to read this or not. Maybe you're getting glare. Hopefully it's coming through. Yeah, she believed she could, but it was minus 41 outside, so she didn't. Yeah, that one was perfect for today. Okay, I'm going to try to sync up with my iPad, so I'm just going to look to see if something is happening on there, and maybe I'll be able to see some of your comments. And hello to everyone who's joining us, and give a shout out if you're there, if you're from far away. I found it, and I forgot to turn the volume to mute, so you got a little bit of a replay there. Okay, so I think we're set to go, and it looks like a couple people have found me tonight, and I don't see anything coming through yet for comments, but I'll keep an eye open here just in case. Yeah, sometimes I'm not sure on this technology stuff. Okay, so getting on with Little Ladybug. This is a super cute stamp set that hosts during celebration, that's January, February, March, can earn. And if you're interested in getting some friends together and earning this stamp set, just let me know and we'll book you in for a time, and we can have a fun time doing some card projects and maybe some other kinds of things too together. If you're not interested in having a party with other people, what you can do is I can give you a host code, and then anytime during a 30-day period that you or your friends place an order, you would be credited with the sales, and then you can earn the little Ladybug stamp set that way. It is super cute, and so I'm going to get started here with my card. I've got a regular sized half sheet of white cardstock folded in half, and then I've got black, which is 5 1/4 by 4 inches, and real red, which is 5 inches by 3 3/4. I don't know what's on there. I guess it's just a piece of dust or something. And then this pretty designer paper, it came from the celebration pack of the Golden Honey with the honeybees. And yeah, I thought, oh, is there some way I can use this with the little ladybugs? And so I think I've come up with something that works. And then I've got some gold foil paper here as well. So, oh, I should give you, the gold foil paper is 3 inches by 3 inches, and the honeybee, no, what's it called? Golden Honey Designer Series paper is 1 1/2 by 3 3/4. So the first thing I did when I was thinking of making this card is like, I want to have little polka dots on here, because ladybugs have little polka dots on little black polka dots on their red, I don't know, is that their wings or their shell or whatever you'd call that outer layer. And so I grabbed a 1/2 inch circle punch, and I punched out, I don't know, about 3 or maybe 4, I don't know, I'll punch out 5 just in case. There we go. 5 full 1/2-inch circles. And then I took and I punched 1, 2, and 3 that were kind of along the edge of the black cardstock. And yeah, so we've got like little pieces, little ladybug polka dots that we're going to be able to put along the edge of our card. So I just wanted to put them randomly onto my cardstock. So I'll just do 1, 2, 3. I think I want a grading down there, so I'm going to try and avoid there. Let's see, how about here? 4. So we'll start with that. 1. Oh, I really need to count these out for you because it's such a high number, right? 3, 4. And we want to use a couple of these circles that are just partial circles. So I'm going to put one up here like that. Oops, used a little bit more glue there than I needed to. Let's see, and maybe one up. Do I want one to go up there? Sure, something like that. Just kind of try to make it as random as possible. There we go. Mind you, the spots on ladybugs may not be all that random. Maybe there is a bit of a pattern to them that I haven't noticed. Maybe they should be more, but anyways, okay. Just to let you know, I don't seem to have any comments. Oh wait, there we go. I do have comments coming through now. Hi Jacqueline and Melanie and Nicole and whoever else happens to be with us tonight. Let's see, I've got one more. Okay, I want to make sure I have room for a greeting. Where do I want this to go? Oh, maybe I could put it down there, and I'm going to have it hanging off the edge again. And so that means I'm going to have to get my snips out and just snip a little bit of it off, but something like that. So, whew, overdoing it with the glue again. All right, here we go. Snip that edge off. And now I want to take this strip of the golden honey and lay that onto my card here. What I have discovered with any of our foil papers or designer paper that has a fair amount of foil in it, like a solid amount of foil, is you don't want to use liquid glue with the foils because once it dries, the foil is so reflective and it's so sensitive at showing what's underneath the paper. You see these little glue lines that come through once it's dried. So I recommend to put the liquid glue away when you go to glue anything that's got a solid layer of foil down, and grab, oops, I said grab your snail instead, but the snail was stuck to the dimensionals there. So, oh, they keep the penguins inside at Calgary Zoo because it was too cold for the penguins. I love that. That's a perfect weather example for today. Too cold for the penguins. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Okay, so here we go. Laying down is that where I want it? Oh, I don't know, something like that. I'm trying to figure out if that's even kind of sort of straight. It'll have to do, well, and I only glued it at the top. When I'm using snail, I like to start at the top and then add the rest of the snail to the bottom once I'm sure that I've kind of got it where I want it to go. Okay, now I don't know. Now I'm second guessing putting this little extra polka dot there. Oh well, ignore it, Shauna. Just let it go. All right, now I'm going to go back to the liquid glue and glue this layer down onto the black. And so you can see it's starting to look a little bit more ladybugish because ladybugish, I guess that's a kind of a word. Okay, so I didn't do a very good job of lining up the top here, and it's because I'm sitting down and I can't see to the far edge of that paper like I should. Oh dear. Well, you get the idea. Okay, you're going to do better with yours when you're working on it. Next thing, the gold foil. I took and I cut the gold foil with this kind of cool die. It's sort of like, wow, I want to call that, it's like the rings around Saturn or something from space. I'll call it like the space die. Well, it's not really the space die. That's not going to help you at all to know where it came from. It's from the Painted Poppies, and it's the Painted Labels die. And yeah, these dies cut out some of these pretty poppies and the leaves, but then there's some really neat labels that you can use with that or with so many other projects. So when I cut it out, it looked like this. See, there we go. It's kind of like a ball of fire, and there's those, what are those things, those flares or whatever that jump off the surface of the sun? I don't know. It just makes me think of space, outer space. And then I cut from another set of dies a circle that is stitched, and that is from our annual catalog. That's from the Stitched Shapes. So one of those circles there. I think it was the second smallest one. And I'm just going to give you a quick tip of something I've really found this last little while that I'm loving more and more and more. When I am cutting with the Big Shot, I am finding I have much better success if I place my blades up like that on the bottom plate, and then I place my cardstock over top, and then I put my second plate on and I run it through the Big Shot like that. I find that look at how nice and flat my plates are. Like, they're not, I mean, they might be warped like a tiny bit, but they've been really staying flat when I do the reverse and cut it with the blades up. It just seems to work so much better. And I think I get better cuts because it's like the blade is closer to those rollers where it's being rolled through the machine. So, and just a reminder, if you feel like, you know, with a die that's got a lot of intricate little pieces, if you need a shim, you need extra pressure, you want to put the shim on at the very, very end. So you take your extra piece of cardstock and lay it on top, sort of like the icing on the cake. Think of it as the icing on the cake, because if you put it here, well, it's gonna get cut, and if you put it underneath the die, like here, it's gonna get sort of embedded, and then die shapes are gonna be embedded into it. So you want the shim, like I said, the shim, it can think of it as the layer of icing on top, and only if you need it, only if you can, you know, if your diet can afford it. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted you to know, putting your blades up, boy, it's like making a difference in my life. It's been a game changer, and I've been loving that. Oh, I see a few more people have popped on. Hi to Darlene and Glenda and Jen, if any of you are still there. So getting back to my card, I need one more layer for this outer space this outer space design that I'm creating, and that is, I've grabbed my 2-inch, ooh, that's bright, got my special lighting on here, 2-inch circle punch and some black cardstock. And I'm going to create this one more, ooh, noisy, one more layer, and that's going to go like this. So now I've got my Memento ink, and I'm going to ink up this little ladybug, the one that looks like she is setting out to fly. And I'm hoping I can stamp fairly closely onto the die cut circle, and yeah, that worked out pretty well. Her wings, they overlap just a little bit with the stitching, but I didn't think that was too much of a problem. Oh, you know what? While I've got the black ink out, I'm going to stamp a sentiment. I've got the "You're so sweet," but I mean, you could use like, how cute is that? You're as cute as a bug. Hey, lady. Thank you. Spread your wings and fly. There's a few different cute sentiments in this one that you could use. So we'll put that there. And hopefully that's, yeah, kind of sort of straight. And now, before I glue my layers here of the circles together, I'm going to do some coloring on the ladybug. And I find to color fast with my Stampin' Blends, I like to use the brush tip because it fills things in so much quicker. I just should make sure that there, I'm just turning that upside down to make sure that all of those bits of black are dry and I'm not going to smudge anything. My Memento ink pad was very juicy tonight. I had just re-inked it. So to color fast, I use the brush tip and I outline wherever I want to color, and then I just color in with the brush. And yeah, I do like to color, but it takes, like, if there's things, other things I want to get done, then I don't like it when the coloring takes too much time. So if I have time, I like to color. Isn't that, yeah. All right, so, but you get the idea. Just the brush tip goes pretty quickly. And then for the body, I've grabbed my two Stampin' Blends that are Smoky Slate. So there's a darker and a lighter. And for the darker one, I'll just take and do some highlight. No, that wouldn't be highlight. That would be shadows. Yeah, maybe shadows on the body of the ladybug. I'm going to color a little bit up here too to darken this. I am not a professional when it comes to Stampin' Blends. I just do whatever I think works, and that's the neat thing about them. They're not over the top hard blends to use. Oh, did you see? I just colored right onto the ladybug's face, and I wasn't really thinking that I wanted to color the face gray. I was thinking I was just going to keep the face white so that it was sort of the focal point of the card, the place where you want to look and see that little smiling face. So the neat thing about that, if I had my color lifter close by, you know what? I see it. It's right there. I'll just grab it. Once you have the color, oh, I lied. I thought I had it close by. Well, if I had the color lifter, I could go in and I could lighten up that tiny little spot that blended onto her face, but I can grab my color lifter later. And then sometimes I actually combine blends and Stampin' Right markers because there's something so tiny that I really like the very, very tiny tip of the Stampin' Blend or the Stampin' Right marker. And I got this idea to color the little ladybug's hands and feet. I don't know what do you call them when they're on the insects? We call them their little legs. I guess they have legs. Yeah. To color the little ladybug's legs black. And I saw that, I think, somewhere on Pinterest, and it just really made the little ladybug stand out a little bit more and gave her a little more, I don't know, there was something to it. Just gave her a little bit more to her expression. I think the person that I saw on Pinterest that colored the hands and feet or whatever, they might have gone back in and colored some of these spots on the edges of the little ladybug and darkened those up too. Now, I don't know if I did a very good job on this, but just so you can see, that's kind of, yeah, what I was going for. So I'm going to layer these pieces together for my ladybug card. And then I thought, I want this ladybug to look like it's really flying right off the page. So I'm going to do double layers of Stampin' Dimensionals. So grab 3 here. I don't like things to be saggy, so I put at least 3 dimensionals on the backs of most of my pieces, bigger pieces anyways. And then I'm going to put another layer of Stampin' Dimensionals. And there we go. And I think I'm gonna, oh, before I put her on, I will layer these two pieces together. Again, get the liquid glue out here for this. This gives me a chance to get my card in place. And you can see I hardly use any of that liquid glue. Like, it's a very thin line. It's a nice strong adhesive, so it doesn't take much. Okay, there we go. But there, you see, I've got a little wiggle room now. I can wiggle it until I get it right where I'd like to have it centered on the card. And here we go. Our Ladybug in space. There she is, taking off for flight. You're so sweet. So that's my card for tonight, and people who come to my birthday card class tomorrow or Thursday are going to get a chance to make this. And like I mentioned at the beginning, if you're interested in the little Ladybug stamp set, give me a shout. We can put a party together for you, or I can give you a host code, and you can put on as many orders to that host code as you'd like, and invite friends to do so, and then you could qualify for this celebration stamp set. I'm just going to mention that my birthday card class really filled up this week. I've got lots of people, and I'm just about done cutting for it. But if you are interested in stamping with me and you're in the Moose Jaw area, but you think like maybe a birthday card class, or you know, one of those classes where we make cards by the dozens is a little bit too much for you because you're just learning to stamp, or maybe you just want some easier projects, Saturday morning here at my house at 10 o'clock, we're going to do a simple stamping Saturday, and we're going to make some easier, quick cards using the Painted Poppies stamp set. So keep that in mind and give me a shout if you'd like to come make cards with us on Saturday morning and do some simpler stamping. It won't involve all these kinds of extra tools like dies and things like that, but it'll be a good basic techniques to learn for stamping, and cards that you can make, you can go home and make over and over again. So thanks so much for joining me tonight. Hope everybody is having a good night out there, and stay warm. Bye for now.